All right, so here we are again. Welcome back. And this is a tough one, okay? This is motion controls, okay? And it's basically taken from the book written by the same guy that wrote the last couple of books that we recently went over. That's the book that you're going to be using, okay? And so beware of the homework, okay? I've got a special thing about that in your day one lesson. So with 11 sections, okay, there are 11 sections which are subdivided into units. And believe it or not, there are over 50 units to go over, okay? We're not going to be able to go through all of them. Okay, we'll get through as much as we can. And the homework assignments are, I've basically given you printings of all of the daily assignments. Sometimes, since we're going section by section, there could be 3 or more units of homework questions to do. Okay, that makes, with all of you that are signing up, that makes a lot of corrections to make or whatever to find out who's doing what or whatever. So it's an impossible task for me. But so I've changed it somewhat so that what I'm recommending is that you print them out, each one of them, and answer the questions for yourself and take notes on it. Create your own notes by the questions that are asked in each unit. Write it down, and there will be questions which you won't be able to easily answer. All right, so I would like to know, just hand in which questions you couldn't answer. So I don't really want to get more than 5 per day, okay? So 5 questions, you basically write down unit number and question number for each one, all right? And if I can, I will send you back an answer or say what the problem is in trying to derive the answer to the question, okay? So we'll handle it that way. All right, so the homework is different, and please, I ask 2 things for you to do. One is to let me know that you're signing in on a daily basis, and also that you send me what you've been able to do for homework. In other words, send me the questions that you've had trouble with or couldn't answer each day, okay? So that's all I ask. So what's this all about, this course? This course is about controlling motors, okay? Control motors. And that really begins with the starters, okay? Each motor should have a starter, something more than just a switch that you switch on and everything goes good. The one lesson I can give you, one story I can give you right now is I had a friend of mine that had a problem with a motor that does the work for an elevator. Now think about that. There's a motor that runs an elevator. What does that motor have to do? Well, first of all, this particular elevator had 4 stories, okay? So they're essentially 4 floors, 1 through 4. So the motor has to know which floor are you going up, or are you going down. So basically, the motor has to go one way, stop, and go back down the other way, okay? It can also has to know how far up does it go and how far down does it go. Okay, so those are all controls that have to be put in. Now, are you doing that on a time basis, or is there another thing to tell it if it's on floor 3. And the other thing is, supposing the elevator stops a little bit higher or a little bit lower than where it should be. You can't just, it's got to stop exactly at floor 3. If you're a little bit higher, then it's got to back up down. If you're a little bit lower, it's got to back up, go a little bit higher, and so forth. There's a lot involved in motor controls. Okay, and we're going to go over a lot of the things that have to be placed into your starter to account for all those things. So that's just a regular 4-story motor, 4-story high elevator motor. But I don't know if any of you have ever went to New York City and taken the elevator up the Empire State Building, but I have a number of times because I've lived there for about 15 years. And I've taken people up to the Empire State, the top. Right, you get on the elevator and it goes over 100 floors in very little time. All right, it's quite a ride up and quite a ride down. So you think about what that particular motor has to do. All right, so it's pretty complicated. It's got a lot that has to occur. What happened in the motor that associated with the 4-story elevator that I was telling you about, the motor burnt out. Okay, it burnt up probably because it did not. The motor was the electricity was motorized, or it was the electricity went through the motor, but the motor got stuck. And that's a situation where the motor gets hot. And in this case, the motor burnt out. It was burnt. It was burnt because evidently, I don't know if they had a good starter there, but the starter didn't work. All right. There are things that we put in a starter to start the motor, and there are safety issues associated with that, so that if the motor starts heating up to a certain temperature, it trips these safety things that shut the electricity off, so the motor doesn't burn out. Okay, but the motor does stop. So it could stop in between floors, which means you got to do something about that. Okay, the repair people have to do something about that. So the motor itself, different applications require different things. You could have a motor doing pumping work, pumping fluids one way or pumping them out the other way, and that usually requires some timing interval. Okay, so you've got some relays that are time dependent. You've got relays that are sensor dependent. Okay, there are all these things. Of course, the best system to have, okay, is a digital system. All right, but that's unfortunately modern day, up to date equipment, which probably is not what you're going to be dealing with. And unfortunately, the book does a little bit about that, but understand that motor controls is very sophisticated equipment, and you can have numerous panels, systems set up just to control motors that do all sorts of things in our factories and everywhere else. Okay, so we'll get started today, and make sure you read everything that's on day 1. Okay, and if you run into any trouble or don't understand what I'm saying, let me know, and I'll get back to you. All right, so good luck and have a good time.